Hello, this is Gavin Palmer with Hero Looking for Group. I decided not to record in my recording studio, aka bathroom, so you may hear family in the background. I learned about Vervaeke, John Vervaeke's channel, from a podcast slash conversation slash dialogos. Not sure what that word means, we'll go over that. But I decided to, well, I'm trying my best. I created one comment. I will respond to this comment. So I'm trying to help solve the problem of allowing the signal to rise above the noise. That's what I'm doing. I put a hashtag begin because I'm a software engineer, and perhaps I could use hashtags to do some automation. And I feel like that's what's missing. There's a lot of people who have good ideas, but they don't necessarily have the on-the-job training to help solve the problem. For example, and that's my history, and I'll get into that as well. So I like to go from the end. I like to start at the end and go backwards. So at the end, what do we do about the threat of bad actors? And what I do about the threat of bad actors is I invite them into conversation. So if you see someone who is a bad actor, just have a conversation with them. That's what you can do. And what I find is that there are people who will not have conversations, and that is partly due to them. I would say they may be bad actors, but they may also be unable to handle their own popularity. Why can't I talk to the most popular person in the world? Who is the most popular person in the world? And if you notice, questions are important. I'm highlighting questions. But yeah, that's how I would handle bad actors, is I would invite them to participate. We build our networks so that we can gain the influence and the popularity so that we can try to make it known that the bad actors are not willing to have the conversation. It's kind of like when the candidates for president of the United States were invited to a long-form podcast, but it did not happen. So we know that there is potentially a bad actor because they just aren't willing to have that kind of conversation with, someone that we trust. We need a process where that can happen. And this is the next question. What are the challenges to trust? So there are books. There are people who write about books. People who are running organizations successfully throughout the world know about the problem. They know that trust is valuable. When you have trust, you can do things in a way that is more agile, flexible, and less costly. It's less expensive. And so really, for me, this question of what are the challenges to trust is all about I go back to the idea of the competence hierarchy, or what I call the human resource problem, and the processes by which you hire, fire, promote, and demote. And you could say demote what, promote what, fire what, hire what. It could be ideas, and it could be people who have ideas. So don't judge people, judge ideas, judge actions. So what is it we need? What is it we need? Will we recognize it when we see it? I feel like I'll tell you, the answer is we need you, right? We need you. We need everyone to discover, do that. They're using these words about discover, invent, but you need to do that as an individual, and you will recognize it in your own experience. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you how I'm doing things, how I've learned to do things. Other people have taught me because of my story. And by working together, we can all learn to do things better. So it's all about an education system of processes. This is the thing that people aren't doing. The most basic thing is, can I send a direct message to John Vervaeke? He might be a person I can do that. Will he respond? He might be a person who will respond. But whenever I send a message to Eric Weinstein, I did get a response. He said, "Thank you for curation." So I haven't had the opportunity to have a conversation with Eric Weinstein, but I feel like I could have the opportunity to have a conversation with Tyler or John. And by networking and having more conversations with people, I may gain popularity in order to have a conversation with Eric Weinstein, and that is networking. It is the way you earn trust by working your way through a kind of hierarchy that is emerging. It's emerging organically. They talked about Christ, Plato, Socrates, and the bodies, the things that emerged out of them. What did they do and what was the process? So it's an education process. It is a process by which a competence hierarchy forms, by which there is hiring, firing, promoting, and demoting within the individual and within the organization. Has something to do with a certain spirit. It might be the spirit of learning, which is connected to, I think, a spirit of compassion, or the Holy Spirit, which is related to this question: what should I do to help? And I think this is related to the question of what is the story we are trying to create? What is the story you are trying to create? And how does that... and so based on the answer to that question, what is the story you're trying to create with your life? You can then begin to answer this question: what should I do to help? So what I do is, I've heard about a concept called skill stacking. And so I am learning things, start off in missile defense, and I've learned skills in missile defense. I'm not proud of working for 6 years in missile defense, but I learned a lot. And they have a lot to teach, and there's a lot of people there who have a lot to teach. And I have a lot of other experiences. So what should I do to help? We're using our experiences, which have produced strengths and weaknesses, and we're trying to match up all of our individual strengths and weaknesses in such a way that we are able to help. Another thought that comes to mind is the servant leader, and another thought that comes to mind is playing on a team and being willing to do any position on the team, even if it means you don't actually get recognized or graduate into the next team. So, for example, I played baseball. They had this thing called an all-stars, where they took the best people from each team to create an all-star team that competed. And there was one year I said, I'll be the catcher. And so as a catcher, I was not recognized to be on the all-star team, but I played catcher for the other team. So I think that's a good answer too, is like, what should I do to help? Well, you just do the thing that nobody else is doing that needs done. And hopefully you can recruit and teach other people to come in and fill that position, and delegate the work. That's what a good leader is the kind of servant leader who eventually teaches and is able to allow other people to gain trust and be given the responsibility to do the job that you figured out how to do, and perhaps even laid out the processes by which there can be oversight so that other people can have trust as well. This is John Vervaeke summarizing some ideas of Tyler's that were above. And I like this process. It's the process of checking that your interpretation of the other person's words is correct. That communication is hard. That phrase, communication hard. I have to mention someone named Elliot Temple. Go check him out. He has his strengths. I think he has some weaknesses too. But he's got a lot of good ideas. Now that we are here, what do we do? Maybe do what I'm doing. I'm doing a screen share. I have notes that I've curated, and I'm going to drop these as a comment in response to the comment I did on the video. I could write software that could go in and automatically create clips based off of these timestamps, so long as these are machine readable. Remember that phrase, machine readable. Make it easy for the machine to be able to do the automation. So create clips and then push them out to different YouTube channels. There's options on which YouTube channels they should go out to, but the whole idea is that when people do a search on the internet, you want them to be able to find the relevant information. And so if you have large large podcasts that are very long, which talk about many subjects, it's very hard for a machine to actually know what you talked about, and so the machine is not able to connect your ideas with the people who are searching for that information. So that's why you do clips. That's why you do curation. Hopefully, by me sharing this as a comment in the YouTube video, it may shine more light on what is within the large video. And like I said, it could also be used to make clips. And that's who I am. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in tools. And maybe there's not a lot of people who are interested in tools, but I am here to help. It would be great if I could actually make the same amount of money helping out the organization that is forming, so that I could quit my day job, or maybe I could do part-time with my normal job I have now, because I really like the people I work with, because they are amazing. I learn so much from the people I work with. But yeah, I would love to be able to do more of this, but I'm also a father. I'm also a husband. I have a lot going on. I would love to be able to delegate. Okay. So yeah, I could also post this. So I have it saved in a Google Doc. I could post it on my blog. Get the information stored in various places so that it is cross-referenced and available through different kinds of search. And I think that's about it. Notice I shared some tabs. So I use the Brave browser. The Brave browser gives me ads. Proton VPN. This could be interesting. Freelance tools. I'm interested in tools. So I've got to look into these two things. Sorting myself out. Recognize the channel who has allowed me to have more views when sharing my ideas. I appreciate them, and I hope to do more work with them. I hope to end up doing more work with John Vervaeke and his channel. I will share this video in the various Discords. Discord is awesome. This is Trello. I have a Trello board. You can organize the board. You've got my wife. I've got my son. We're doing some software. I've got a YouTube channel for my family. My wife has an idea here that I'm trying to help her with. Got some ideas about making money. I was following cannabis. I think it's an important issue. There's some features for software that I'm thinking about. I like to plan. This is an interesting topic. Do the means justify the ends? I disagree. I am not on the side of the consequentialists, the utilitarianism, or utilitarians. I'm not a fan of that. I think it is a mistake. Gavin for Gov. Sometimes I'm interested in running for office, but I think you can have more power outside of politics. Trying to be a leader, though. So yeah, I'm just keeping track of things. And I like Arthur C. Clarke. Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. It's very important. I am a technologist. I am a software engineer, and there is a lot that we can create. There's a lot available to us that we can use that we don't know how to use. I'm trying to teach in that area, and there's also a lot of things we can create that has not been created yet. So I hope this reaches the right people. I hope it helps grow the network. I should have started with maybe I start and end with this idea that I make mistakes. I'm a human. We're all humans. We make mistakes, and was important. There is something related to affording people the chance to make a mistake and try again. That is very important. And my favorite thing of Elliot Temple's is called Paths Forward, and Paths Forward is all about trying to create a path by which people can help you do error correction, because we all make mistakes. We are fallible. So I hope to help, and I appreciate your attention, because your attention is one of the most valuable resources in the entire world. You need to respect your attention. Respect all the orifices. All right, with love. Have a good one. Get in touch with me. I have a Discord channel, and I will share that link.